What's up, Padawans? What's up, Padawans? Afro Joe the Wookiee here, 10 like a TI is. I guess you heard the news about the 6 officers that killed Freddie Gray. Now, to me, I'm glad. And it's surprising to find out it's like I said before about it's not a racial issue. I've talked to people about doesn't matter what the color of the police officer is, they still don't like people. They kill people. And you see the three of it's like six of them. All of them being charged for manslaughter. Two of them's been charged for kidnapping. Well, not kidnapping. Yeah, kind of kidnapping. And I sit up here and I'm looking at this shit and I was like, three of them black. Three of them black. Ain't now one of them stepped up and helped this man, knowing it was wrong. I think, and it's sad to see that all these officers going to prison for this. They're getting charged for this. And I'm glad that they're going to prison for this. I'm glad they're going to fucking prison because they broke the man's leg. They broke the man's leg. They sat there and put him in the back of a cop car. And they didn't help him. And they didn't help this man. He rolled around, didn't put the seatbelt on. And D.L. Hughley, he talked about this stuff. Talk about, because he was on Bill Maher, he says, well, it's often funny how they have these laws called click it or ticket. But if I ride around without a seatbelt on, I get a ticket. And these officers knew that was a law, click it or ticket. They didn't put no seatbelt on this man. It doesn't matter if you wear a badge or not. You put a man's life in danger. Plus, you sit up there and you did this to the man. Didn't help him, and he died in the hospital. But I'm gonna put a YouTube video. I'm gonna play a video of the prosecutor charging these people of the crime, and I'll probably put it in the description box. But it's like this, y'all. You can't sit there and break the law because you wear a badge. But here we go.
Chose to march peacefully throughout Baltimore. I commend
you see here, now you see those red lines on the map. Those are so many stops that they took in distance. Sit there and said they took 4 stops, 4 or 5 stops, and this dude sitting up in there with a messed up neck, and they still prosecute him. That's some bullshit. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? They said the female officer that was there didn't do a damn thing when he was not responding. Did you hear that? Said she didn't. That the female officer didn't do a damn thing about it. Didn't do a damn thing about it. That he was not responding there and didn't get medical help for this man. Continue. Did you hear that they said the 5th time they stopped and they realized he wasn't breathing, that's when they want to call the medic? Why didn't y'all call the medic when he wasn't responding? That's the question. These officers didn't even call the medic when he was not responding. I say, like, hold up now. When you police or a medic, don't you gotta? If you're a police officer, don't you check? If the person's not responding, their job is to do is call for a paramedic. Not wait until next time, then call a medic. They're supposed to call them on the scene. Not sit there and waste time and let this man die in their custody. Like I said, they let this man die in their custody. like I said before, these officers are being charged for the death of Freddie Gray. Also, and the female didn't do a damn thing and let this man die. Two of them getting charged for kidnapping. Well, kind of kidnapping, but yeah, they're getting charged for kidnapping. But it's ignorant for them to do that. Ignorant for them to do that. And I'm gladly going to see. I said this before, man. It's going to come to a point where they're going to start arresting and charging officers or with the murder. Now you're starting to see it. Why did it take you that damn long to do that? In South Carolina, they did it like from back when Trayvon Martin died to now. Only one officer's been sent to prison for the death of a black man. That was in North Carolina. That was in North Carolina. That happened once. That happened in last year, a year ago. Now there's this 6, and there's the guy that killed Walter Scott. So there's 7 cops going to jail, going to prison, but this 6 people are going to prison for what they did. Tell me what you think down in the description box. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr, subscribe to my channel, share this video with all your friends and family. Don't be a Sith Lord, be a Jedi. Holla at me, Padawans, holla at me. And I'm Afro Joe the Wookiee. I'm out.